good day, it's me Jaycee and welcome to Robot Show Tunes, my very own YouTube channel where I get to review Transformers toys, Voltus 5 toys, Macross or Robotech toys, Evangelion toys, and just about whatever else I may fancy. And in today's tune, I'll be taking a look at Generation's thrilling 30 Voyager Class Sandstorm. Now, I got this pre-loved bot from Clark Dennis from one of the local Transformers fan Facebook groups. If you're watching this, Clark Dennis, many thanks. Now, he didn't come with the box, so let me just mention the one accessory that comes with this toy, which is this barely functional projectile firing blaster. Barely functional. Wait, let me show you. Oh, that worked better than it had before. Let's try that again. Move aside. Yeah, it works fine, but the trajectory, the distance isn't that great. Let's see. This misshapen thing is actually the only fly in the ointment, thank goodness. It's kind of ugly. And it stores in the back, like so. There. Now, usually I would consider this kind of storage unsightly, but since the backpack's already flamboyantly massive, it actually doesn't look out of place at all. And on that note, let us move on to articulation. Alright, first of all, this is the official position of this orange plume or whatever it is in robot mode. But if that doesn't float your boat, you can actually put it in the down position, like so. Let me just... there. And to begin, the head is on what I believe is a hinge. You can tilt this far up, this far down, no side to side, but you can turn the head the full 360 degrees. You get these startling blue light-piped eyes. As bad as this camera is, I believe it's visible. The shoulder is a hinge and ball joint combination. You can lift the arm this far to the side, and you can swing it 360 degrees if not for this backpack in the way. You have a bicep swivel, gives you 360 degrees. Yeah, there are clearance issues, but yeah, that should turn just fine, 360. And you have a single hinge elbow, ratcheted, gives you 90 degrees. You have a wrist swivel, gives you 360 degrees, and a wrist inward tilt up to there. You get these backpack wings on soft ratchets, 3.5 clicks to position them. Let's see, it can be this far forward, neutral, to the back slightly, and half click, just a half click because this plume, this thing gets in the way, the plume, I call it the plume. And the tire spokes can be positioned two ways, like this, or diagonally like that. You get a waist swivel that gives you 360 degrees with slight clearance issues, meaning these two pieces that stick out from the backpack. You don't have T-jointed ball joints for hips. It looks to me like a combination of hinges and swivels. It allows for straddle splitting and grand jetéing. You get thigh swivel, a thigh swivel rather, and that gives you 360 degrees. You get a single hinge knee, hard ratcheted, gets you up to there. So yeah, it can slightly bend. There's a forward bend of, I guess, 2 clicks. Well, hold on, two clicks forward, and gives you about a little more than 90 degrees backward. There is no ankle rocking or tilting, but you can point the toes downward and downward only, no upward. Now, let's see how Sandstorm measures up. So, here's Generation's thrilling 30 Voyager Class Sandstorm with Tanaka Tony Robot Former's Blue Streak, with a Takara Tomy Masterpiece Tracks knockoff, and with Funko Pop Death of the Endless. Let's move on to Transformation. Alright, let's start with the mode closest to robot mode, which is the VTOL aircraft. What you want to do first, if you have the weapon pegged at the back, remove it. From there, untab these yellow chest pieces, untab them from the orange chest piece, lift the orange chest piece, put it over his head. There is the clearance, there's not much room to do this, but I don't think this will cause any significant scratching. Yeah, it is rather tight. Just try to, it can be done, just negotiate. Bring that head through, and there. Once that's through, put that head into this chest cavity, and then bring this up there. Once that is done, you might want to fold out the roof, which is made up of this orange plume. It'll form the tail. So extend it like so, and then untab the lower part, this part too, from this part, parts, everywhere, parts. And then lay it out flat like this. You get these fins, bring them out like that. Get the legs, collapse the toe in, collapse the heel into the yellow heel into the foot. Once that's done, just tab the legs together. There's a tab and a slot on either black piece of the legs. There's also a tab and a slot in these yellow pieces down here. So tab those two pairs together. From there, so this is the original position of the arms. Swing him down low. Grab a forearm. Open up this yellow piece and stow the fist in there. Open yellow piece, stow fist inside, close, and then once that is done, there's this peg and a slot in the armpit, so that'll help stabilize things. So armpit pegs, armpit slots, and then what you want to do next is put this down. Oh, okay. Just straighten at the knee until these two pegs here there are two slots here in the tail. And let's see. And there is, oh hold on, there's one more step. There's this slot here. It'll peg into, there's a peg here. So slot here, peg there, in that goes. And there you have Sandstorm in his VTOL aircraft mode. The blades don't spin, what the tires do. It's kind of weird, but it looks cool enough. The spokes can, also in this mode, the spokes can assume two positions, like this, or like that, like this, or like that, just two positions. And for whatever reason, you can manipulate these. And in this mode, there is landing gear here in the front, and these two orange ones in the back. And in this mode, you can actually clip this to the front. It'll replace this front landing gear. What you want to do is just orient the gun like this. Fold the handle in first. It's oriented like that. And actually, I don't know how it does it, but it defies description. Actually, for me, it defies physics how it happens. But basically, what you want to do is you clip this part here. There is this narrow passage here, and you'll hear it clip. So this part, that narrow passage, and you'll hear it click. The first time I tried to do this, I had the absolute hardest time. But I guess you just have to learn to trust the engineering and not think too much about it. There, it clips like that, and there you have the weapon stored under him in VTOL mode. Okay, let's not waste any more time. Let's get him into dune buggy mode. So remove this, fold in your landing gear, unpeg the orange tail, actually unpeg the whole roof, because what you want to do is to bring that to swing it back and repeg it here. So the hood will become longer, and from there you bring the arms back to the original position in robot mode, up, so that's up to here. And from there you bring out this, you open up this piece with the fin, extend it like that, and bring back this, swing back this piece, and recess that in there, and bring up this part of the windshield and window. So repeat on the other side. Open this up, bring this up, swing this back, recess or collapse, and just collapse both arms like that. And it's gonna be loose for now. These two sides are gonna peg here, but it's loose for now. But everything will come together when the final step comes into play. So from there, what you do is you grab these feet, then click them up one notch, split them. It'll split like that. Bring them all the way to the side. Again, there's this peg here, and the yellow piece goes into the slot in this black piece. It'll be loose at first, everything will be misaligned at first, but everything will line up in the final step, which is bringing these tires round. And there's this, how do I describe it? Peg. Let's just call every pointy thing that goes into a crevice thing a peg. So there's this peg, goes into this slot. Same with the other side. Just clamp all that together. Once that's in there, everything else will line up easier. So this will line up there. This will line up. And these three pieces will finally click together. And from there, you actually have a variety of how to, again, pose this thing, the plume. You can either have it, the official way is like this. It'll turn it over here. It becomes extra armor for the roof and for the side windows. But if that doesn't float your boat, what you can do is you can pose it like this as a spoiler. But if you want it official, you bring it down over the roof like that, and the weapon, either way you choose, the weapon can plug on the roof. So plug it there if you want the spoiler type look, or you can still plug it there because the tail piece, the orange tail piece, has a hole, also has a hole that'll coincide to with the slot there, so that's no problem either way. So you can still plug it, and there you have Sandstorm in his dune buggy mode. Now let's see how he measures up in this mode. Again, here's Generations Thrilling 30 Voyager Class Sandstorm with Tanaka Tony Robot Former's Blue Streak, with a Takara Tomy Masterpiece Tracks knockoff, and with Funko Pop Death of the Endless. Let's move on to my final thoughts. Alright, final thoughts, cons first. Obviously, he's extremely back heavy, and the number of articulation points seem kind of basic for a figure this class and size, and the gun's really, really ugly. But that doesn't really bother me. The VTOL aircraft mode is the weaker of the two alt modes. It's good, but transformation is sort of basic. Pros, on the other hand, as always, orange makes everything cooler. I love this color and color scheme. And the brilliance of the light piping in the eyes are almost hypnotic. You have a very over-the-top, almost campy look. It's just unabashedly fun. The Dune Buggy mode for me is the stronger alt mode. Final word, for me, the pros definitely outweigh the cons. He doesn't fit in my Legends collection at all, but I really love Sandstorms. Well, maybe any version of Sandstorm, Sandstorms. Color scheme, yes, orange makes everything cooler. I fiddle with this spot almost every night, and sometimes I just catch myself staring into those brilliant blue eyes. The design is so outrageous and full of personality that it doesn't bother me that it doesn't follow the G1 aesthetic. Anyway, that's all for today's tune, but before the curtain goes down, I'd like to give a shout out to the guys at work for giving me this award, this certificate of sorts. It's actually a gag award, but I appreciate that this is how they know me in the office. They know me as a toy reviewer. Thanks, L&D, for your support and recognition. You guys are absolutely the best. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe to this channel, and like Robot Show Tunes on Facebook if it so please you. Thank you again so much for watching, and until next time, see you at the theater.